Are you ever just around people that treat you as if you're just like an extension to their own reality? Like you're just a tool to get whatever they want. And when you step back and kind of realize this or think about this, it's so bad. Because at least for me personally, I kind of grew up in a household where this was really common, and I never really was able to develop my own sense of self. And I think this portion of my life, especially growing up in a household like this, it made it kind of ooze into other aspects of my life as I got older. And this was even unknowingly for the longest time. And I think even relationships growing up, there's some certain people that would kind of treat me as if I'm still a kid, or I can't even handle what is being thrown at me, because growing up I was always treated like this. So I think I was almost giving off this energy to other people to treat me that way, because that's what I was used to being treated as. And I didn't know any better because I was never given the confidence or instilled upon myself that I had a sense of self. You know, my parents, they always answered for me. They did stuff for me. They always kind of treated me as an extension of them, and they would answer for me for what they wanted. Like somebody be talking to me and they would just start answering for me. And this kind of hindered my ability and kind of made it tough for me, growing up at least. I've kind of got away from these tendencies, and I've been really working on trying to weed out these poor tendencies. But I think if anybody has experienced something like this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And I think this can be true for a lot of things in life, is that you just don't know what it is you're in until you're out of it, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't know this is how my reality was until I exited that portion of my life. You know, I got my own place, and I'm not around these people that I used to be around 24/7. And I think this can be true for a lot of people that are growing up or moving away on their own, and they kind of realize some things and they're like, this is a little weird, and like, this doesn't seem right. Like, not everybody else is doing this. There are some things that like I see, having gone through like a pretty toxic relationship and like just being around some negative people, that I notice these things. And I don't know if this is like I have ADHD or something. I have some hardcore pattern recognition or something like that. But like, I feel like now that I know what things are for what they truly are in life, like I see it in other things and I can pick up on things very quickly. But anyways, that's for a whole nother topic, a whole nother day. What I want to get back to is like having a feeling that you are your own person. Because when you're going throughout life, and you know, even in your early 20s, or you know, right out of high school, you're kind of faced with this reality over your head where you have to try to discover yourself. And you know, you're around new people if you go to college, and like you can reinvent yourself almost. And that's a great time. I think for me personally, I didn't really recognize or understand becoming my own person until like, you know, probably even this year, because I think there's always been people that have held me back. And it's hard when you have people that already know you and you're still in the immediate area of them, because they know you for this person and this is how you are. So it's hard to almost reinvent yourself or become another version of yourself that you want to become. But I think this is such an important thing to do, and to go on that journey where you become your own person and you can just be confident in who you are. Because to this day, I still feel like I am not treated as a person whenever I'm around my parents. And it kind of is tough for me because it almost resets me, and it kind of reverts what I have been thinking for however long I've been working on this, right? But whenever I get around them, it's almost like old tendencies sneak back in only when I'm around them. But I can't even comprehend. Like, it almost makes me angry and upset that I'm still almost viewed. I don't know if it's because I'm the youngest of the children that my parents have. Weird way to say that, but you know what I'm saying. I've just recognized a lot of patterns and tendencies that go on now that I'm very hyper aware of, that I don't think anybody else is aware of from my understanding. But I always wondered this because when I'm around other people in my family, when I'm not around my parents, it's a lot different than when I'm around them without my parents. And I don't know if other people see this and recognize this, but it's just so interesting that some people can just kind of make you act a certain way in which maybe you don't even want to act. And just thinking about this right now, it's interesting because I think other people of my family see this, or not even my family, anybody that's around me when I'm around my parents, see how I act when I'm around them, and they almost think I'm not my own person either. And then they treat me as if I'm not, which is so interesting. And I'm kind of just having this realization right now here live with you. But it's just very weird. It's a very weird concept to just go throughout life and not be encouraged to keep doing things that I like, or to keep doing things that make me me. It's almost like they wanted me to be a mold out of something that they wanted, if that makes sense. But now I'm going to go over some ways that you can get out of this and how you can become your own person. And I think that almost takes you being a little isolated for a little bit, and maybe not necessarily isolated, but you need to be in an environment that provokes growth, or provokes you doing something only for you and not having any external factors involved. And you don't want to make a decision based on somebody else, based on, oh, this person wants this out of me, so I have to do this. And it's just truly letting everything flow and doing things that are just for you. But I think the most important thing is just to become aware of your surroundings and become aware of who you are and why you are the way that you are, and just having this energy to you that can come to light. Because some people, they really like to hold your energy back, and I don't know if they can sense it either consciously or subconsciously, but people like to try to suppress your energy and try to limit what you're actually outputting, because they're almost intimidated by it, I think. But the tough thing is, when you become aware, you almost recognize things and you see patterns, and you start to get a sense for, okay, this is actually kind of messed up, because you're very aware of it, and you're like, okay, this person did this probably because of this. And it's not like assuming. I'd say it's more of like an educated guess that is pretty accurate most of the time. I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but just having accurate assumptions and like they become true most of the time is kind of a crazy thing. And I feel like I have that, and I don't know what that's called, but if anybody can relate to this, let me know. But once you start seeing things for the way that they are, it really kind of just keeps on going down a rabbit hole, and you can't really unsee it. And good or bad, I don't know. Maybe you just want to keep living the way that you're living, and that's fine. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I have a Discord link down in the description below. Just made it, so getting close to 2,000 subscribers, only a couple away. And I thought, what's better way to celebrate than launching a Discord? And I'm planning on having some game nights every once in a while. So if you're interested, want to join the community, we can get some game nights going. Maybe, I don't know what games yet, but I have a place in the Discord that you guys can recommend any games that you want to play, or we want to have a Uno night, poker night, Monopoly night, whatever it is, we can play, or COD even. But I'm open to suggestions, so join the Discord down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.